What if I told you that an 11-year-old black girl became a millionaire overnight when oil was discovered on land that white people called worthless? And then white men tried to marry her to steal her fortune. What if I told you that even though she had two living parents, the state of Oklahoma forced her to have a white guardian for her protection? A system designed to rob black children of their wealth. This video isn't just about oil and money. This is about a young lady who became the richest black girl in America in 1913, and how her family had to fight every day to keep white people from stealing everything she had. Before I tell you the story of Sarah Rector, the child millionaire whose wealth exposed how America weaponized the legal system to steal from black families, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're building a community of truth tellers who refuse to let these stories of black resilience and theft be forgotten. Recently, a member of our team, Diana, who is our program manager, learned of an upcoming movie called Sarah's Oil. Diana contacted me impressed that I do some research on this because she believed that it would be a great video for our Unlocking Black History channel on YouTube. Hearing the excitement in her voice, I was compelled to comply. It's rare nowadays, at least for me, to find young people who are so excited about our history. But let me be clear, I'm not suggesting that young people aren't interested. I'm merely expressing that this has been my own experience, but I certainly hope I'm wrong. Upon researching the life of Sarah Rector, I also got excited. The reason I think it's important to do her story on the Unlocking Black History YouTube channel is because I know there will be a lot of people who access our channel who will not see the movie Sarah's Oil via streaming or at the movie theater. And after conducting some research, I found a few sources that allowed me to investigate her story thoroughly. My efforts also discovered that some publications proved to be inaccurate. Therefore, I will attempt to do my best to tell another amazing part of Black history that they obviously did not want us to know. When Diana contacted me about doing the video, it made me happy. I like seeing our younger generation take interest in our Black history. And I'll be honest with you, until this was brought to my attention, I had never heard of Sarah's story. That's not surprising. Over the past few years, I have learned more and more of what I had not known about our history. And as fascinating as Sarah's story is, I can say that I was not surprised about what happened to her. To me, her story connects with the present-day modern wealth-building challenges put in place by non-Black Americans. And while we're here, let me clarify some things, because I've received some feedback saying things like, stop expecting white Americans to give us anything. To those of you who have that takeaway, I suggest that you are missing the entire point. I am not asking anyone to give us anything. I am highlighting how, for us to obtain anything, we have had to overcome challenges and obstacles that have been deliberately put in our way. And that has been and still is since the inception of this country. Yes, a significant number of Black Americans have reached the social status where they make $11 million to $13 million, or a form of income where they make over $700,000 a year. But that's the exception. That is not the norm. The continuous obstacles and challenges we see through things like the elimination of civil rights, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and voting restrictions, those things are designed to affect those of us who live in the norm. It's possible That those of you Black Americans that have made it to that status, you may have made a lot of people nervous. That's a they problem. That's not a you problem. And I'm happy for your success. So to be clear, this channel is about highlighting the plight of Blacks in America. We've always overcome without a handout, and we always will continue to do so. Now, having said that, I desire that our grandchildren and the next generation put things in place to protect their wealth. Why? Because it has been painstakingly clear that there are those amongst us in power that are nervous about your success. The story of Sarah Rector was referred to in the newspapers of the 1910s as the richest colored girl in America. It's one of the most extraordinary and least discussed chapters of our early 20th century American history. Born in 1902 in former Indian Territory, later becoming the state of Oklahoma, Sarah Rector entered a world shaped by the aftershocks of slavery, the complexities of Native American land allotments, and the deep-rooted racism of Jim Crow America. Her wealth, which came from oil discovered on land allotted to her as a child, thrusted her into international headlines and placed her at the intersection of greed, discrimination, and fame. The circumstances surrounding her rise offered a window into social, economic, and racial tensions of the times. Just as important, her story reveals the extraordinary resilience of a young Black girl who navigated dangers, exploitation, and public scrutiny with the help of her family and community. Sarah's Oil is a story of injustice, exploitation, resistance, and unexpected triumph, illuminating the challenges and contradictions of the era in which she lived. To understand Sarah Rector's experience, you must understand the world that she was born into. Sarah came into the world on March 3rd, 1902, in Taft, a small town within the Creek Nation of Indian Territory, a region not yet integrated into the United States as a state. This was a time when the federal government forced the 5 tribes, the Creek, Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, and Seminole nations, to divide communal land into individual allotments through the Dawes Act and related legislation. Both Native citizens and people of African descent who had been enslaved, known as freedmen, received allotments of land. Sarah Rector's family had been emancipated into the group of Creek freedmen, and as such, each of her family members received 160 acres of land. But here is what is not told. While land ownership represented a form of opportunity, in reality, the soil given to Black children was usually the least valuable, least fertile, and least desirable. The federal government often assigned poor quality land in an attempt to maintain the economic disadvantages of the freedmen. This was also the era of Jim Crow laws, intense racial segregation, and widespread violence against Black Americans. Lynching, disenfranchisement, and economic exploitations were rampant. Opportunities for Black families were extremely limited, and many lived in poverty. Education was segregated and unequal. Job opportunities were scarce, and financial institutions often refused services to Black citizens. It was into this harsh world that Sarah Rector was born. Poor, Black, female, and living in a region where land opportunities were structured by government policies that rarely benefited Black Americans. No one could have ever predicted that beneath her worthless land lay one of the richest oil fields in the region. Sarah's disadvantages began from the moment her land was assigned. Her 160-acre located in the Creek Nation was considered infertile and practically useless. Her family struggled to pay the $30 annual property tax imposed on the land, an expense that was extremely enormous for a family living in poverty. At one point, Sarah's father, Joe Rector, even petitioned the courts for permission to sell the land so that they could rid themselves of the financial burden. The request was denied. To make the land somewhat profitable, the family leased it to the Standard Oil Company for drilling, though expectations remained low. Oil had been discovered in different parts of Oklahoma, but no one believed that Sarah's land, brown, hard, and dry, would yield anything of value. Another disadvantage was the lack of resources available to her family. Schools for Black children were underfunded, and opportunities for economic advancement were extremely limited. The Rector family lived in a two-room wooden cabin and worked tirelessly to survive. They had no political power, little legal protection, and few allies in a system designed to keep Black families poor. Even after oil was found, Sarah was handicapped by legal structures that denied Black people autonomy over their own property. Oklahoma had laws declaring that full-blooded Indians and Black children, considered wards of the state, had to have a white guardian to manage their finances, regardless of their parents' fitness and ability. This was a system ripe for corruption, one that routinely stole the land and money from Black families in the region. Therefore, long before Sarah became wealthy, she faced disadvantages that came from poverty, racism, lack of political rights, and the predatory nature of a legal system surrounding Black landowners. Now, if you're starting to understand how the legal system was designed to steal from Black families, even when they succeeded, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, because what happened next will shock you. Everything changed in 1913 when Sarah was only 11 years old. After several failed attempts, an independent driller named B.B. Jones struck oil on her land. The land began to produce over 2,500 barrels a day, an astonishing amount, even in an oil-rich region. Practically overnight, Sarah became a millionaire by today's standards. Her monthly income rose to more than $300 and at its peak, well above $10,000 per month, equivalent to over $250,000 in today's terms. Now think about that. An 11-year-old Black girl in 1913 Jim Crow, Oklahoma, was making more money in 1 month than most white men made in a year. The newspapers were quick to sensationalize the story. Headlines referred to Sarah as the richest colored girl in the world. The shameless fascination of the press betrayed deep racial prejudices of the era. Reporters treated Sarah's wealth as an oddity, repeatedly implying that a Black child could not possibly be responsible or intelligent enough to manage such fortune. Somewhat like what we see today, right? If we are not right and diversity, equity, and inclusion provides a way or a pathway for us to demonstrate equivalency or in some cases superiority, the narrative continues to undervalue, underestimate, and marginalize us. As her income grew, so did the attention of state officials, guardianship opportunists, strangers seeking to marry, and people hoping to use her to access oil money. The darker side of Sarah's newfound fame was becoming more and more apparent. After oil was discovered, local white authorities immediately interfered. Although Sarah had 2 living parents, the law required that wealthy Black children be assigned with a guardianship, supposedly for their protection. Now, let that sink in. Sarah's parents, Joe and Rosa Rector, were alive, capable, and loving. But the state of Oklahoma said they weren't qualified to manage their own daughter's money because they were Black. This guardianship system was used as a tool to steal money, land, and resources from newly wealthy Black children all across Oklahoma. Because guardianship records were loosely monitored, thousands of Black families lost generational wealth to white guardians who embezzled, committed fraud, and sold off land without permission. Sarah was assigned a white guardian named T.J. Porter. And here's where the story gets complicated, because for years, rumors swirled that Porter stole millions from Sarah Rector. Newspapers in Kansas City and St. Louis began reporting concerns that Sarah Rector was being mistreated, exploited, or financially abused. Advocates wrote to the governor of Oklahoma seeking intervention. Some reports claimed that she was living in poverty in spite of her millions, though these claims were exaggerated. The rumors of theft were investigated and found to be false. The NAACP investigation proved the claims of theft or exploitations were unfounded. In fact, T.J. Porter was a family friend chosen by her parents to be the guardian. He was one of the rare white guardians who did not steal from his ward. But the fear was real, and it was justified. Many Black landowners in the territory had been robbed by their court-appointed guardians. There was also public panic among white Oklahomans who felt threatened by a wealthy Black girl. They questioned her intelligence, her right to manage money, and even her racial identity. Rumors circulated that she would be forced to reclassify as white if she remained wealthy. This revealed the twisted logic of the Jim Crow social hierarchy. Family safety also became a concern. The Rector family received unsolicited marriage offers for Sarah when she was only 12 to 13 years old. Let me say that again. Grown white men were proposing to marry a 12-year-old Black girl, not because they cared about her, but because they wanted access to her oil-rich land. Because interracial marriage was illegal in Oklahoma, some white men even proposed moving to a state where they could legally wed the child. In short, racism infiltrated every aspect of Sarah's new life: the legal system, the education system, the press, and even strangers seeking to exploit a child's good fortune. No wonder they want to continue to try to erase Black history, because when these things come to light, we no longer look like the shining city on a hill. Despite the challenges surrounding her wealth, Sarah's family remained determined to protect her. Her parents moved the family to Kansas City, Missouri, a city known for having a growing Black American middle class and institutions that supported Black success. They enrolled Sarah in the Kansas City public school system, and later she attended Lincoln High School, a respected institution for Black students. To shield her from exploitation, her parents placed her in the community of successful Black families and entrepreneurs, including members of the Black Wall Street community in Tulsa. She and her siblings benefited from the supportive networks that promoted education, business, and dignity. As she grew older, Sarah demonstrated intelligence and maturity in managing her affairs. When she reached adulthood, she took control of her finances, invested in property, and diversified her income. She became a landowner with homes, businesses, and farmland. She also became known for her generosity, often helping Black families who were experiencing hardship. Notably, as a wealthy landowner, Sarah Rector achieved something incredible for a Black girl of her time. She was granted full citizenship of the state of Oklahoma, a privilege usually denied to Black people, but offered to Native citizens and wealthy landowners. The hypocrisy of the system was clear. Wealth could override racial barriers, at least in appearance, though not in practice. Isn't that familiar, even in 2025? By the time she reached adulthood, Sarah Rector had secured a stable, impressive financial future. She purchased a large home for her family in Kansas City's prosperous Black neighborhood known as the 18th and Vine District, an area famous for jazz, business, and culture. Her home included luxury furnishings, automobiles, and amenities rare for Black and white families at that time. Sarah married Kenneth Campbell, a man known in the community for his business sense and social status. They had 3 sons. Although the marriage ended in divorce, Sarah continued to maintain her wealth, invest in businesses, and support her family. In adulthood, she lived quietly, avoiding the spotlight that had defined her childhood. She was not known for flamboyance or extravagance. Instead, her life reflected stability and community involvement. She lived through the Great Depression, World Wars, and the profound social changes of the 20th century, and she remained financially secure until her death in 1967. Yet, despite her remarkable life, history books largely forgot her name. Only in recent years have historians and educators revived the interest in Sarah Rector's story as a part of a broader recognition of Black landowners, Black wealth, and the system that sought to destroy them. Sarah's Oil is a story of paradoxes: privilege born from oppression, wealth surrounded by racism, and fame shadowed by exploitation. Sarah Rector's life reveals how deeply prejudice shaped the economic and social structures of early 20th century America. As a Black girl who became wealthy through an unexpected discovery, she faced dangers that white children would have never encountered: forced guardianship, theft, media sensationalism, and threats for her own safety. Isn't it interesting how white wealth could be stolen yet accepted, and Black wealth could be legally obtained and yet they were rejected? Sarah rose above these challenges through the support of her family and the determination of her community. She secured her wealth, obtained an education, and lived a comfortable and secure life. Her success was not merely in the product of oil, but of resilience in the face of structural inequality. But here's what we must remember. Her story forces us to confront how many other Black families in Oklahoma had their wealth stolen or erased. Sarah's case was exceptional, not because she struck oil, but because she managed to keep it. For every Sarah Rector who protected her wealth, there were hundreds of Black children whose guardians stole everything. For every family that escaped to Kansas City, there were thousands who lost land to fraud, violence, and legal theft. So, if ever you have a question today with someone that wants to talk about the racial wealth gap, remember this story and recommend they see it as well. In the end, Sarah Rector's legacy is not only about her riches, it is about perseverance. It is about a young Black girl who became a symbol of positivity at a time when America offered little to no hope for children who looked like her. And most importantly, it's about remembering the truth of her journey, one shaped by racism, disadvantage, vulnerability, and ultimately triumph. Sarah Rector was 11 years old when oil made her a millionaire, and immediately the vultures circled. White men proposed marriage to a 12-year-old girl. The state forced her parents aside and assigned a white guardian for her protection. Newspapers questioned whether a Black girl could even understand money. but her family fought back. They moved to Kansas City. They surrounded her with successful Black families. They made sure she got an education. They protected her wealth so fiercely that she lived comfortably until 1967. Your children and grandchildren need to know that even today, when Black people succeed, there are systems that are designed to take it away. They need to know that Sarah Rector kept her fortune not because of oil, but because of her family refusing to let that system steal it. Now, if this story of exploitation, protection, and triumph moved you like it moved me, I need you to do something for me right now. First, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss these stories of Black wealth, Black resilience, and the systems that were designed to destroy both. Second, like this video and share it with your family, church, and your community. When the movie Sarah's Oil comes out, make sure you know the real story, not just the Hollywood version. And third, please leave a comment and help me teach the next generation. Now, answer these questions so others can learn. What shocked you most about Sarah Rector's story? Was it the forced guardianship despite having living parents, the marriage proposals to a 12-year-old child, or the fact that history even forgot her name? How does Sarah's story connect with modern challenges Black families face in building and protecting wealth? What systems today still try to separate Black people from their money? And what would you tell the next generation about protecting what they build? Knowing what Sarah's family did to keep her wealth, what lessons should be applied today? Fourth, and this is crucial, I'm going to list the books and sources used to research Sarah Rector's story. These aren't always easy to find, but they help tell the truth about Black wealth, land theft, and the guardianship system that robbed thousands of Black families. You can find books about Sarah Rector, Freedmen, and Black land ownership in Oklahoma in our complete Black History Library at the link in the description and pinned in the comments below. These books preserve the truth. Don't just watch the movie. Understand the history, own the books, and pass down the knowledge. Don't let them forget that an 11-year-old Black girl became a millionaire on land because white Americans deemed the land worthless. Don't let them forget that it was her family that fought a racist legal system to protect her wealth. Don't let them reduce Sarah Rector to a feel-good story without understanding the theft, the exploitation, and the resilience. Subscribe, share, and comment your answers and build your library. And I'll see you at the next video where we will uncover another story of Black resilience that they tried to erase. Take care.